Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. You guys are getting treated today. Video number 3 of the day. It's a triple upload. If you haven't caught my first 2 videos of the day, which is my review to the World Cup opener between Qatar and Ecuador, where Ecuador won 2-0, you can catch it right here after you're done with this. And also up here, you can check out my preview for tomorrow's game, England versus Iran, which was an individual preview on its own, as I am going to be predominantly giving England content, as well as all the other previews and reviews of the days as they go along. And today, now this video, I'm giving you guys a preview to the other 2 games that I've not previewed that takes place tomorrow: Senegal versus the Netherlands and Wales versus the United States of America, which is the other game in England's group. Starting off, let's get right into it with Senegal versus the Netherlands. I can't wait to see this game. I really can't, because here you got 2 teams that, on one hand, you've got the current reigning African champions, and as I've said previously, when I look at all the African countries, Senegal are the most stable, the most well-equipped, the most disciplined, I would say, out of everyone. Out of all the African nations. They, rightfully so, are African champions. They've had their coach, Cisse, who is an ex-Senegal international. If you remember, he was captain of the Senegal team when Senegal beat France in 2002 at the World Cup 1-0 after Papa Diop scored, who unfortunately has lost his life and is no longer with us. But if you remember, that Cisse was the one with the armband that day. He is the manager and has been for, I think, 7 years with this Senegal team, has managed to build something really, really strong. And the only thing that I look at with this Senegal team where I think, man, is the fact that Sadio Mane is not involved. And I'm gutted, because Sadio Mane, I mean, even as a Chelsea supporter myself, as you can see, right, you have to respect the guy. I honestly, on a human level, I love Sadio Mane. I think he's a great footballer. I think he always gives 200%. I think he's always consistent. And off the pitch, some of the things that he does, especially in his home country in Senegal, some of the incentives that he's brought over to them, and some of the things that he's helped with, honestly, just overall fantastic human being. And it's crushing that he, along with many other players, top players, are going to be missing this tournament through injury. But Sadio Mane is a big miss for Senegal. A big miss. And the thing with Senegal, as I've already mentioned, they've got a great block. Defensively, they are solid. They have a great motivating atmosphere about them, right? They've got a great spirit. And they've got great ballers. They move the ball really well. But if there's one thing about Senegal that I noticed, especially in the last edition of the African Cup of Nations, where they won it, but the way they started the tournament was very slow. They didn't get many goals. And even throughout the tournament, they won the thing, but they were winning 1-0. And at the end of the day, you get the win, and that's the most important thing. But when you're coming to a World Cup and you have to perform and you have to score goals, if not, you ain't getting to the last 16, right? Senegal, without Sadio Mane, I'm a little worried. I still honestly think that they finished second in the group, but it's not going to be easy. And they have to make sure they don't concede anything stupid, because that will save them. If they don't concede, I think they're going to give themselves a very, very good chance. We'll see how it goes down. The Netherlands, on the other hand, young, promising team, Louis van Gaal in charge, very experienced manager. We all know Louis van Gaal, good old LVG, dropping to the floor. But Louis van Gaal has picked a very, very young, dynamic Netherlands team that are coming through. They have players that are coming through. When you go through some of their squad, they've got some established players, especially in defence. You know, your Virgil van Dijk, for example, they're there. In midfield, Frenkie de Jong. Up front is where it's a little bit... It's not exactly the best. It's good, right? It's decent. It's not the best. The key name up front is Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay is going to be out tomorrow. He is not playing. He's out with injury and he will not take part. So this is where Senegal have a chance, because as I've already mentioned, Senegal defensively are solid. The Netherlands I expect to be defensively solid too. I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking this can easily finish as a draw. I think we're not going to see a lot of chances. I think you're going to see maybe 2 low blocks. The Netherlands may be a little bit more of the ball, I would say, especially in and around midfield. is where I expect the Netherlands to keep the ball and try and move. But I think they're going to find it hard to penetrate through Senegal. At the same time, I think Senegal are going to find it hard to actually get to the box and create clear-cut chances. Without Sadio Mane, it's going to be very, very hard. Diatta and Dieng are the ones that have come in to replace Sadio Mane in this squad. Apart from that, everyone else should be available. Diallo has a knee injury, so I don't think he's going to be available. RB Leipzig's Diallo, so he's going to be out. Everyone else is available for selection. Depay, as I've already said, who has been a very, very key goal scorer for them in World Cup qualifying, is out with a hamstring injury. Denzel Dumfries is going to be a doubt. And De Roon is struggling with a back issue. Apart from that, everyone is available. So, if I look at this game, and honestly, I have to say, tomorrow, I am supporting Senegal. I want Senegal to go as far as they possibly can, especially as an African nation. It's about time we see an African country reach a semi-final or something. And as I've said, I look at the African countries, and Senegal, they've built a beautiful foundation. They have what it takes. So it's up to them. But I'm going to be honest. I think it's going to finish 1-1. My score prediction for this game is 1-1. I think the Netherlands in the coming games in the group will show their class and show exactly what they're about. But tomorrow, as a first game, as an opener, I think it's going to be cagey. I think it's going to be a defensive display from maybe both teams, trying to see the opportunity and the chances where they can come. And I think it's going to be a stalemate. I am going Senegal 1, Netherlands 1, which for both teams, technically, is probably going to be a good result because, as I've said, I see both of these teams doing well against Qatar. I think they're both going to stat pad against Qatar. And against Ecuador, you'd look at Netherlands as a favourite, Senegal definitely with a chance, but we'll see how they both perform tomorrow before we start analysing how they're going to do against Ecuador. So, 1-1 is my prediction. Moving on to the second game, the third game of the day, but I've already given you an England preview, so make sure you catch that as I've already mentioned. The Wales against the United States. Now, Wales have waited 64 flipping years to qualify for a World Cup again, right? They are finally back. Normally, just like Canada, when it comes to the United States, like Russell Peters, the comedian, has said, normally in Canada, they see the United States going to the World Cup and they say, oh, don't worry, we'll hang back and clean up then. It's fine, you guys go. Wales do the same with England. They look at us and they go, okay, you guys are going, we'll stay back. Don't worry, it's fine, we'll wait. Not anymore. 64 years after their first World Cup, after their World Cup appearance, their last one, they are finally back, and Gareth Bale and his men are motivated to go and do well. The thing with Wales is I honestly do not know what to expect. I look at Wales and I think this is their best opportunity. They qualified in a great manner. They showed a lot of spirit, a lot of heart. They were getting stuck in. They're not the most beautiful team to watch, but they had spirit. They really, really gave everything. And as a team and as a collective, they have a very good group. But in terms of quality, in terms of what they possess, a lot of their players are players from the Championship. Let's be honest. Maybe a couple play in Nottingham Forest who got promoted to the Premier League. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because the Championship physically is a very, very tough league. Yeah, and it's no surprise that at one time the Championship was rated the 5th best league in the world, behind the main leagues in Europe. After that came the Championship. So you have to respect it. But apart from a couple of lads, especially their goalkeepers, Hennessy and Ward, that come from Nottingham Forest and Leicester City. Ben Davis, we know, plays for Spurs. There's one. Apart from that, Aaron Ramsey, Gareth Bale are the key men that they're going to look to. Daniel James as well, who plays for Fulham. Apart from that, there are ex-Premier League footballers in this team. Joe Allen, for example, who's a key player in their midfield, who plays for Swansea. Everyone else is lingering about, for teams like Huddersfield and Cardiff and Swindon and Luton, Couple of other teams other players that play abroad, Roden at Rennes, for example, Ampadu at Spezia. And me as a Chelsea fan, I'm looking at Ampadu and I'm going to be paying key attention to his capabilities in that midfield and see what he can do. There is talent there. Against the United States, I'm actually giving Wales a chance. The United States, I think, are a team that's developing, right? We already know the soccer in the United States. Funnily enough, it was England that gave them that word, so I'm not even going to mock them for that. It's our fault. We shouldn't have ever given them the word soccer. And, they've ran with it. I don't know why. But for football. The United States are a developing team in the football world. We know they've got talent. They've got players that are starting to really, really get into top places. You know, they've got some very, very good players currently on their side. I mean, Pulisic is a given. He is Mr. America, Captain America, as he's nicknamed quite often. Sergio Dest, we know, at AC Milan, who was Barcelona prior to that. They've got decent guys. McKennie at Juventus is another one, and they've got a couple of guys, you know, at Leeds and Dortmund, and they've got players scattered across top leagues in Europe that before they didn't have at all. There were players from, you know, New York City and LA Galaxy and all those sort of teams. Now, they're really starting to get talent across Europe that are from the United States that are able to contribute to the team. So this is where I look at the United States as a developing young team against a Wales team where I think they've hit a ceiling. You're not going to get better than what Wales have right now. But as a group, they've managed as a collective to really build on the fact that they are a very, very good group together. They play in a very, very, I'd say, a rough league in the Championship. Many of them, many Premier League. It is quite difficult to say who's actually going to come out on top. Individually, I think in terms of talent, maybe the United States have more talent. But Wales, I think, are a better equipped collective. So I'm struggling to really see who is going to come out on top of this one. Normally, on paper, I would probably give it to the United States. On a good day for the US, I'd be like, yes, the US are winning this. Maybe 1 or 2-0. I think Wales are going to come with spirit right now. And you look at a lot of the United States fans, many Americans, let's say, but people that follow the United States soccer team, football team, many of them are not confident. So, you know, I'm bearing that in mind. So, I want to say that this one's going to be a draw. And I'm going to go, even with this game, I'm going to go with Wales 1, United States 1. Realistically, United States, I think, should be winning. But I think Wales are going to give it a good go. And that, I think, defensively is probably going to help them. If they're resilient enough, I think that's going to help them. Maybe they nick a goal. Gareth Bale, you know, Aaron Ramsey, someone coming in clutch to get Wales a point. And we roll from there. Let's see what happens. Let me know your score predictions, how you see it going down in the comments below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow for the match review too. England versus Iran. I will give you the roundup of the day. As well as that, you'll be getting a preview for Tuesday's games, where I will let you know my thoughts on how I think that's all going to go down. So much appreciated for watching. Thank you all very much. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.